Hey everyone, this is Jane with Barlow Herbal, and I've got my son Brian here
Hello.
today, and we are going to talk about the importance of taking care of your elimination organs. So we've got a list here that Brian compiled. We started talking about the things that we kind of knew off the top of our head, like things to do for your skin, things to do for your liver, and then we kind of expanded on all of these things like your lymph system, your lungs, your spleen even is an important organ to think
Yeah.
about. So we just are going to go through these and give you some tips on how to take care of these organs that are super important to help keep you detoxified, and maybe some even amazing things you might not have known about these organs. So,
Yeah. Some
um,
simple, easy to do strategies that you can do right. Most of these you can just do right away.
yeah, so let's talk first about your skin, because to me that one is an easy place to start.
Yeah.
And if you were to give, based on the stuff that you were looking up today and just our conversation, where would you point people in the direction of when it comes to taking care of your skin?
Well, I mean, you got the obvious stuff, which is going to apply to all these elimination organs, which is the biggest one, obviously, is tons of water. Your skin needs that water, needs to hydrate just like the rest of your body. So that's going to apply, obviously, anti-inflammatory foods, tons of antioxidants in your diet with fruits and vegetables, like berries, super high in antioxidants. All that stuff from the inside is going to make you have a healthy glow on the outside. So yeah, that's one of the things. Two things: water and the diet. Lots of fruits and vegetables, minimizing the processed food. Those two things are going to apply to all this stuff. Some things that are particular to skin: steam therapy. Um, Whether it's even we'll say a steam room where you're actually getting steam. That's I was thinking of a sauna. That's different. You're sweating, but steam therapy. You can go into a steam room, or you can boil a pot of water and just after it's boiled, take it off of heat and just hover over it and just have it go over your face. You can drape a cloth or a towel over you to help the steam kind of stay in that area. So that's particular for the face. But if you're looking for
Mm.
the whole body, get all the skin, you know, slap on your underwear, your swim trunks, your towel, and go into a steam room, or nude if you're able to.
And I think that's why that's always seems like for the most part there are always steam rooms in health clubs
Yeah,
because of the health benefit of somebody who's been working out. You get all of the benefits of adding that extra water for steam. And I do think that saunas and infrared saunas, because of the sweating aspect, can be a really nice um, way to take care of your elimination organ. And this is a really good
yeah,
reason to stay hydrated, because if you aren't able to sweat properly, you don't have enough hydration to
yeah.
simply sweat,
Bad news.
then yeah. So
I was going to talk about sweating next.
yeah,
Yeah, so a sauna, it's the summer, being outside, just sweating naturally, but obviously exercise. But one thing to note is be mindful of wiping your sweat, because if you just let your sweat dry, those toxins that you're sweating out can reabsorb.
yeah,
Same
and I
thing.
didn't know that.
Yeah, and we kind of talked about when you cry, your body, it's a physical biological reaction for your body to release cortisol and other stress hormones
In your tears.
in your tears. And so when I cry occasionally, yeah, I cry. I'm gonna cry right now. I make sure I wipe my tears because I'm paranoid of tears drying on my face, and the cortisol, the stress hormones reabsorbing. So with the sweat, make sure you're toweling off the sweat regularly, and also take a cold or cool shower after, if you're exercising, you're out in the sun for a period of time. But sweating is amazing. Another great thing for the skin is dry brushing. We've talked a bit about that.
Yeah.
I actually just ordered a kit for me and my fiance, so I'm going to start doing that regularly. But yeah, just soft bristle brush. You can do a little research online, or you can probably find one at a local store. But it's just that, you just dry brushing on your skin anywhere. It really opens up and unclogs pores, which helps everything flow better and can get bacteria, can reduce acne, but also will stimulate the lymphatic system,
That's what I was just about to say.
which we'll also talk about.
Yeah, and I mean, to me, that makes you feel. Anytime I've ever dry brushed, and I try to do this on a fair, I probably get in once a month, and just it can make your skin feel, if you're not used to it, it can make your skin feel kind of red, and you just do it gently.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be anything where you're in there just scrubbing really hard and making your skin raw. It just feels really good, and you can actually feel the movement of your lymphatic system. So maybe let's talk about that next.
Yeah. Yeah, so the dry brushing is great for the skin and the lymphatic system. So that's kind of a double-edged sword there. But then, yeah, for the lymph system, cold plunging. Cold plunging is one of those things that so good in many aspects for your, hormone regulation, neurotransmitters, all kinds of stuff.
That's what you
Muscle
just
recovery.
started doing.
I just started that habit. I'm doing it about 2 or 3 times a week now. I bought an ice machine. I hooked it up. I have an inflatable cold tub in the backyard. So because it's so hot, it gets to about 95, 100 right now in Utah. I'm able to produce enough ice to do it every 2 or 3 days. But the plan is to do it every single day. You may have heard like Tony Robbins, Joe Rogan, lots of famous people doing it daily. It's one of those health trends that's like on the rise. But a cold plunge will shock that nervous system, but it'll stimulate the lymphatic system, get things moving, which will help detox. Massage therapy. I got a massage scheduled after we shoot this video at 6:30. Awesome for the lymph system. So many benefits with massage therapy. Awesome for detoxing. You guys, I'm sure some of you have gotten massages. Your massage therapist will always tell you to drink water. So like if you get a massage or do a cold plunge or something, you want to make sure you're hydrating and keeping everything going. It's a whole process. So the water is the number one. If we had to just say one thing and
for all your organs,
stop this video, just make sure you're drinking enough water. Kind of the rule of thumb, you'll probably hear this, for every pound of body fat you have, try to get an ounce of water.
Body weight.
I mean, when I say body fat.
Yeah.
So you really obese people are going to need a lot of water. No.
And you're really lean people.
Yeah, you're not going to get much.
So amount body
weight, excuse me. Drink an ounce of water per body weight. So I'm over 300 pounds, so I need like at least 2 gallons a day, according to that. And I think I get about that. Another way is just to go based on your urine color. You want a light yellow. If it's clear, you might be drinking a bit too much. I mean, it's hard to overdo it on the water, but you can drink too much. So you want a light yellow. I actually learned this when I was in the military. When I went into boot camp, they had a chart above the urinals, talking about urine color. So those are a couple of gauges, urine color, and then just go on your body weight. My lovely mom here just bought a gallon water bottle. So that's good for her. She might try to do a little more, but if she's drinking at least, someone her size drinking a gallon a day, that's a great thing. So you can get a container.
Yeah, there's 128 ounces in a gallon, and I feel pretty good if I get a gallon in, but as we were talking about this prior to recording, I realized I should probably be doing more than that because I weigh about 150, and I'm not getting 150 ounces. Now, I drink other things during the day, like I drink green tea, and I drink kombucha sometimes, but as far as water, and I really have to work at getting a gallon in. And I think most of us do. Even in the summer when it's hot, it's still like you have to make a conscious effort to drink water. So, this is something that gets hammered on all the time. But if you think about all the organs that help your body eliminate toxins, and the whole thing with your tears and the cortisol being released, that's why you always feel better after a good cry, is because you've just released cortisol, and I mean, that is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. That is one thing I learned.
It's cool, huh?
Today, yeah. So drinking water helps your body on all the elimination. So let's talk about lungs now.
One last thing I'll touch on for the lymph system, and something I do, is inversion therapy.
Oh, yeah.
Just get an inversion table, like a couple minutes is all you need. From my research, a minimum of 3 minutes on an inversion table will give you like all the benefits of stretching out your back, improving blood flow, circulation, and your lymph system. And then the lungs. One thing I do regularly, probably once or twice a week, is so it's steam therapy, but it's inhalation. I call it steam inhalation therapy. So I'll boil some water on the stove. Once it's coming to a full boil, I'll turn it down to about 5.5, 6 on a 10 scale of heat, so kind of medium, slightly above medium. And then I'll just, be a foot and a half above it, and I'll just inhale. It makes me cough, but it's good. And then a good thing to do is to add peppermint oil or eucalyptus oil. I find peppermint oil to be much stronger and more effective, but eucalyptus oil is great too.
You just add a few drops to the boiling water?
Yeah, anywhere from like 2 to 3 drops. You can add up to 10. You go a little stronger, it's going to hit you a little harder and it'll make you cough. But I find my sense of smell immediately goes up. So you can actually physically feel it working and clearing out the sinuses.
And your lungs, right?
Yeah,
you
and your
inhale
lungs.
it into your lungs.
You inhale into your lungs, you can go through the nose and do a sinus one. But yeah, mostly the lungs. Trust me, if you have a lot of mucus in your lungs, you're gonna expel it if you do some of that inhalation steam therapy. That'll really, yeah. And then some other ways to detox the lungs. Obviously, exercise. Just the work they're doing is going to help things move along, and then breathing exercises are going to help strengthen. You intentionally breathe deep. You're going to open up the lungs. They're going to strengthen them. They're going to work more properly. They're going to be able to detox and flow. The flow is going to be easier. So, and then again, water, diet. There's certain foods that are good for the lungs. Certain herbs, obviously, that are really good for detoxing the lungs. We have a great lung blend tincture. See what else for the lungs. Green tea. Green tea, as many of you probably know, is packed with antioxidants. So the specific blend is really good for detoxing the lungs. All those great antioxidants in there. So green tea is very helpful. And yeah, that's about it for that.
Perfect. Well, let's talk about the colon and your intestines.
Yeah, colon. So, and then one thing I'll touch on the spleen again is there's warming herbs you can add to your food and make little concoctions out of.
We didn't really talk about the spleen yet, though.
Oh, we haven't gotten to the spleen.
No, but
I got that mixed up with the lymph system.
Let's talk about the spleen. Because this is,
okay.
You don't really think, you have to go, well, where is the spleen?
Right. It's right here. It's on the left.
Right across from your liver.
Yeah, right across the street from the liver. It's somewhere in that area. But yeah, spleen is something that doesn't come up a whole lot. But I guess its job is to purify the blood, to get rid of old blood that's been damaged and help detoxify the body. Kind of works in a symbiosis with the liver. But there's some warming herbs that warm up the body, and basically the warmer you are, the more your spleen will work better. But some examples of warming herbs would be ginger, cardamom, black pepper, and cinnamon. So those herbs will go in, they have sort of a warming effect that will get the spleen going. Also, stay away from processed foods, but particularly cold processed foods like Lunchables. Lunchables are hell on your spleen. That's just an example, But yeah, having a warm meal is going to make your spleen work more effectively, and your digestive system. I actually did some research a long time ago. I think it was a book called Sapiens or something. But cooked foods is a big part of our human evolution. But a warm meal, a nice anti-inflammatory, vitamin-rich warm meal is really good for the spleen because it's basically makes it work less.
Yeah, and so your spleen basically purifies your blood. And that's something that we don't really think about. I think a lot of times organs like gallbladders and even spleens get yanked out so quickly without.
Do spleens get yanked too?
I've heard people before say
it's
mostly gallbladder that you hear and appendixes.
Yeah.
But there's a reason you have these organs, because you might not think they do a super important job, but you have every single organ for a very, very important reason, even if it feels like a small reason.
Yeah.
In the context of the whole, it's very, very important. And I actually really love talking about spleen, just because we don't talk about it that much.
Yeah, and unless it's some crazy emergency, which I think are rare, you should try to cleanse and flush out these organs before you have them removed or have some crazy surgery. A couple other things you can do to just make your spleen work better and increase its detoxing power is chew your foods slowly and thoroughly. That'll just, I was talking to a guy on a podcast the other day, and he says, if your food isn't the consistency of applesauce before you swallow it, it is not ready for your body to digest. So the mouth, you guys may have heard this, digestion starts in the mouth with those enzymes in your saliva and just that macerating process.
Yeah.
So take your time, mindful eating.
Slow down.
Enjoy.
And then,
processed foods, alcohol and sugar also, again, those apply to overall health, to all these things, but those can be hard on your spleen, sugar and the alcohol.
And they're hard on almost all your organs.
Yeah, so many of
Yeah.
these cross over into everything,
Yeah.
which is great because you change a couple key habits, you can affect your overall health. So yeah, those are kind of the things I wanted to touch on with the spleen.
Yeah, so the final one I think we're going to talk about here is taking care of your intestines and your colon. And you know, most of you know we just recently, a few months ago, brought out a colon cleanse called Smooth Cleanse. We've had just so many people asking, what do you have for helping taking care of your colon? Because your colon is probably the best or the most, when you first think about an elimination, we think about your colon, and we think about and there's so many things that are important about the health of your colon. And there's something that we talked about that's important for your colon and your intestines, and that's prebiotic foods and prebiotic fiber, which basically means foods and things that you're going to put into your diet to allow the good bacteria to do their job, and then to also help with the elimination process and keeping your colon and your intestines clean. So, let's give some ideas on foods that people can eat and a reason to eat green bananas. Right?
Yeah, so obviously if you're lacking water in your body, you're going to get backed up. So water, anti-inflammatory foods, tons of fruits and vegetables that have lots of fiber. So you got fiber, and then there's different types of fiber, resistant starch, prebiotic fiber, like you mentioned. Food like underripe bananas, green bananas have lots of resistant starch. Dandelion greens, chicory, onions, leeks, apples, oats, burdock root, garlic. So these foods will provide food for your probiotics, basically. So all those friendly bacteria in your system that are already there, and then obviously you want to increase those. I think in a lot of cases, there's some people out there with ideal microbiomes or close to it that may not need to supplement. But yeah, there's all kinds of great supplements. Do a little research. Don't just buy the cheapest probiotic. There's certainly affordable ones, less expensive ones that are effective.
Well, and at the end of the day, you can actually make your own fermented veggies.
Yeah,
which is
fermented veggies.
You want something that's pennies on the dollar, fermented veggies.
Yeah.
Learn how to do that, and
I feel like that's the ideal way to get your.
I do too.
I mean, I think in when it comes to colon cleansing and microbiome, a lot of us need to do some catching up. So that's where these herbs and the cleansing smoothies and all this stuff come into play. Like there's some great ingredients in our colon cleanse, like aloe. What else is in there? There's
chickweed, there's senna, there's cascara sagrada, there's some really good herbs in there.
So,
Fennel.
So yeah, so these herbs and these kind of things, like psyllium husk is a really good one for cleaning the colon. Bentonite clay. So these can help you cleanse out years of impacted fecal matter and sort of allow you to catch up.
Yeah, and allow your intestine to do its job by absorbing your nutrients and absorbing your water better. So, so I think if you're going to do a couple of big takeaways, number one, focus on your hydration.
Yeah.
And I know we talk about that a lot because there's almost every single system in your body, from your brain function, clarity, and energy, to the health of your heart, to the health of your skin, the health of your digestion and elimination. If you don't have proper full hydration, you're going to always be behind the 8 ball trying to keep your elimination organs functioning. And another thing too is, let's just tuck this in here at the end, is sleep.
I was just going to mention that. So yeah.
We were thinking the same thing.
Yep.
And I'm a person who's really, really lucky, but I've also paid really close attention to my sleeping environment. But I always sleep deep and long, but I also have a rhythm. I don't stay up really late and then have to get up really early. Like I have a routine between like 9 and 9:30. I'm like ready to go to bed, and then I have a routine. I don't have any technology in my room. I make sure it's dark and quiet and cool, and I have a little routine where sometimes I'll do a meditation, and then my sleep is deep. And that is actually one of the things that's going to help your body repair, and your elimination organs can't function fully for you if they're not regenerated and repaired by having a deep night's sleep. So,
yeah, that is infinitely important.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to put a couple of links below here to some of the products that we have that would fit into your herbal arsenal. And one of them, and if you got to the end of this, we're at 20 minutes, so awesome for you for hanging to the end of it.
You made it.
You made it. So Choncapiedra, we'll put a link for that. This is good for, it's known as the stone breaker, great for kidney stones, gallstones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've seen
Softens and dissolves them gradually.
right. So it's actually a really healthy way to nourish and support your kidneys and your kidneys and your gallbladder. And then our Liver Love is amazing. We have a beautiful lung blend, which again does what your lungs need to help give you lung capacity. And you do a lot of elimination through your lungs, because think about it, you take a big deep breath and your lungs absorb all the oxygen, and then they've got to expel carbon dioxide, and there's a lot of exchange going on. And you know, it's once you get into the rhythm of some of these things, it's really not that hard.
Yeah, there's just like a few key things that you can do that will help all this stuff. Proper water intake, proper sleep, proper diet, you know, avoiding alcohol and excess sugar, getting enough sunlight, reducing stress via meditation, massage, all those rules. And then you can do all these little things to add on to catch up, to do regular maintenance. We also have a great elixir involving warm water, honey, lemon juice, and apple cider vinegar. We'll put that recipe on the bottom.
Yeah.
That is really great at dissolving, softening kidney and gallstones and flushing the liver and kidneys. So we'll put that there too. But yeah, if you lock in the big key ones, and then hone in and start chipping away at these other ones, you're going to feel lighter. You're going to feel refreshed. Your skin's going to glow. Look at my glowing skin. Look at that. It's beautiful. I'm getting enough water.
Well, and you know what? Honestly, this is what it's like. This is what it should feel like to be a living, vibrant, breathing human.
Yeah, be proactive.
Yeah.
Be in charge of your health. Don't just let your health happen, you know.
Yeah, or
all these little easy
happen.
things to do. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the email that comes with this, there will be a list of all these things for you to refer to. If you're not on our mailing list, go to our website, barlowherbal.com, and subscribe, and you get some amazing things that will come right to your inbox that will give you some good tips on healthy eating, healthy living, herbal tips, which is what we do and what we specialize in. And then you'll always know what we're doing and what we're up to when we have new things coming out. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. And if you haven't listened to the Rooted in Health podcast, I gotta
check it out.
Yeah, Brian does some amazing interviews with some people, with some content, and I know I think there's like over 1 million podcasts out there.
There's a lot. Everybody and their mama has a podcast these days.
Everybody and their mama, but this podcast is run by Brian.
I'm over here yakking my face off, guys. Come listen to me yak. Okay?
He has some really good guests with some really incredible topics. It's
been really fun.
Yeah, and he's been going a year now.
Yeah, a little over a year.
Which is awesome. So I'll put a link to Brian's podcast.
Support me and my podcast.
Okay. How can you resist that?
Can't say no to that.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time.